Moving on, next one we're going to look at is adding users, so staff members, um, to the program. So I want to come into users here. I've got a few in here already. We want to make sure it's on employee. New. So the username doesn't have to be an email address, but it kind of guarantees its uniqueness if you do an email address. Um, the profile is the most important part. So what the profile is kind of a set of rules um, as to what the user can do. So whether they can see certain things like financial information, or they're allowed to delete things. So maybe you want them to be able to add and edit a student but never delete stuff like that. So we have some preset ones for you. Global admin is what I'm using right now and probably what you're using. And it has access to everything, including all of these setup options here. Administrator is a similar user, but they have access to all of the records within the database, but they don't have the setup options. So, so this user could, look at any information in the database, but they wouldn't be able to come in here and say add a user. And then these ones are like drastically limited. So, like a front desk person can see things but not delete things and so on. But yeah, just kind of a side note, these profiles can be modified. So if you're using the front desk one and it doesn't quite work for you, um, you can change it. So you could give them more access or less access. We don't look at that today. It's kind of a little more of an intermediate topic, but don't feel like you're totally limited to these. So we'll say Walter's a front desk person. Now, there's some tabs along the top. You don't really need to do too much in them. The localization settings, you can leave everything set to organization defaults. Use organization defaults. Which means just use the settings up here. So we set them up for the system, and then this is just going to use the system defaults. Member, we're going to skip over. That has to do with web stuff. So not looking at that today. You will need to assign him a password. So this needs to be a temporary password because the first time they try and log in, it is going to ask them to change it. And then customization is the same as we saw up in the organization. It's just if they have a background image and so on. Then you can save. Yeah, so now he can log in and do his work. That's it in security.